In this tutorial in Microsoft Excel, we're going to introduce you to the concept of an array to show you how to type array information in. It's a very powerful tool, but it's a bit complicated. So we'll spend several lessons looking at it. First of all, what is an array? Well, you see three of them on the screen before you. An array is basically a row or a column or a number of rows and columns with information that you can treat collectively. Let me show you an example. Here I just have 5 of the days of a week. And so I want to create an array that contains the information. So an array begins with a formula. Now, because I have 5 pieces of information, and I want to create an array that will display all 5, I need to cover 5 cells in my array. So I'm going to click here and drag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will be my array. So once I've highlighted that, I put my equal sign in, and then I show you what it will be. I'm going to click on A1 and drag through, or A3 all the way through E3. And instead of hitting enter, I have to hit Control Shift, hold those down, and then press enter. Now what that did, if you look at the formula, that adds curly brackets. One of the biggest problems when dealing with arrays is not hitting Control Shift enter. But when I see these items here, Wednesday isn't really truncated there. Now you can see it. If I look at click on any of them, notice what the formula is. When I click on any cell in this segment, it gives me the definition of the array, because these are all treated together, which is powerful because you can do special things with them now. And so this is basically how you take multiple pieces of information and you can copy them on the screen or copy them in memory. We'll show you a little bit about that in a moment. But that is an array. So I took a horizontal group of days of the week and copied them into an array. Now once they're in an array, there are some restrictions. I can't just change or delete one cell in this array. I can in the original, but not in the array. I can't, for example, insert a row. Because now these are treated specially. There are some other restrictions that we'll deal with in a moment, but those are some of the things. Now what if I want to take this and copy this down vertically? Well, you would think I could simply click 5 cells down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can do my same formula, equals, and then I say I'm copying the non-array material here, these adjacent cells, hold Control Shift down and press enter, and all I get is Monday, 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 Monday. That's because it treats horizontal arrays different from vertical arrays. I'm going to go ahead and undo that, and this time I have to use a control called Transpose. So now with the same cells copied, I'll go equal, and then I'll let my cells go here. Okay, but I need to put, before the item, I need to put Transpose and put that in a bracket. And now I must remember to do my Control Shift Enter combination. And now it made it go down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I can use a vertical array, but it treats it different, formats it differently from a horizontal array. And we'll show you it's a lot more than simply copying words in a line. Let me show you another thing about an array. This array over here has different kinds of information in it. It doesn't all have to be numbers or letters or true or false. But again, I can take 3 cells over here, and I can put an array formula equals, drag across all 3 of these, do my Control Shift Enter, and there I've copied the information into an array. You can take information that's in an array and copy it to memory rather than to your screen, or copy it to the screen as well. The items in this box here are part of an array, but they're not the raw numbers, they're the result of a calculation. When you have items in an array and they go across a row, you separate them by a comma when you create a formula. When you do a column like this with numbers, you separate it by a semicolon. So let me show you an example. I click anywhere in this cell, and you notice anywhere in this box, since it's an array, it has the same formula. So I'd like to show you just a little bit about how I built the formula. I'm going to go ahead and type another one in right in these 9 boxes. So I'll put a number in each of the box, and I'll do my formula. Okay, and this one is equal to, and then I start, I need to type my own curly bracket here, and then I type in, let's say the first number is 3 or 4, the second number is 5, the second number is 11. Those will fill the first row. Then I press the semicolon key, because I'm going to put what's on row number 2. Say row number 2 is 9, 9, 9. Those are the 3 digits in row 2. I put a semicolon, go down to row 3, and I put 8, 4, or 3, 9. And then I do another curly bracket. I'm going to take each of those numbers and multiply them by 3. And then, since it's an array formula, not a regular formula, I hold Control Shift and press Enter. Now let's see what this did for me. The number 12 here in my array formula is 4 multiplied by 3. Number 27 is, after the semicolon, that's 9 multiplied by 3. The number 5, it's in the first row, second one over, should be 15. The third one, 11, should be 33. And so here I did some very easy math for some items in a formula. I didn't have to copy all this to rows and then do the addition and then the multiplication, things like that. So you're beginning to see some of the power. I know there's not a clear application right now, but these are the kinds of things you can do as you build an array formula. And again, on this one, I had to key in the inner curly brackets with the keyboard. But when I was done with the formula, I had to take the entire thing and use my Control Shift Enter to enter it in. Now, if I'd have done this on one cell, it would not have worked. For example, I'll try here, equals, I'll put a curly bracket in here, 4, 3, 3, 3, semicolon, 4, 4, 4, semicolon, 2, 3, 1, end of curly bracket, and then I do Control Shift Enter, and all I got was 3. All I got was the first number in my array because I didn't highlight. I had 9 items. I didn't highlight 9 boxes. So that can be a gotcha if you're doing that kind of thing. So it just gives you a little bit on how to begin to enter an item. And once again, whenever you're in an array, every cell gives you the same reference in the formula bar, but it's treating it differently. This is not an array. This is not an array. These 3 cells are, and these 5 cells are, and these 5 are, and both of these are, with these groups here. Let me give you another thing that you can do with an array that seems a little bit more fruitful. I'm going to click on the Summary tab. And let's assume I'm going to delete these numbers I put in a moment ago. Let's assume that I want to add all the numbers in this grid, every row and every column. Now this is where an array begins to take on a useful shape. Normally, in order to do that, I'd have to sum each of the columns and then put a total over here or wherever. Let me show you how to do a sum on an array. I'm going to put the formula in, equals sum, okay, and then I'm going to do a left bracket and choose my cells and a right bracket. Now I do not enter, but Control-Shift-Enter, and notice it gave me a sum of cells A3 through C6. I didn't have to do a two-step formula. Let's see if I want to find the smallest number in this group. I can do the same thing with, and here again I'm only using the array to give the information to one cell because I'm not copying all the information. So this would be equal to the minimum of, and we go A3 through C6, right bracket. Now I do Control-Shift-Enter, and that's the minimum. Minimum finds the first item in the cell. I can do the same thing with average. I'll use the average of the 12 cells. Then Control-Shift-Enter. And I should drag this over here. That is the average of the 12 cells. So you're beginning to see some of the benefits of using an array in a formula.